bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Glad you're in. Lots to talk about on a busy Wednesday night. Paul Nolan sitting over there in the old seat tonight. And why is he sitting there? And that's because Rick Delgado sitting right here. What even is that tonight?
Yes.
9
promotion.
Well, yes, you think that. 9 o'clock, what even is that coming up tonight as well? So a busy Wednesday night. And Mr. Delgado actually was nice enough to hold his what even is that until tonight because Paul said, I want you to do it the night I'm here. Isn't that correct, Mr. Nolan?
That's true. That is true. I'm a big Rick Delgado fan. I've got his autograph and everything.
Oh, you're the one. Good.
Yep, he's the one.
Well, there's 3 of us. We work in 8-hour shifts.
Yeah. How was the rest of you? How are you?
I'm good. A nice day today. A little bit quiet. Love this weather, though, this time of year, right? It's just damp and wind coming in sideways.
70 miles an hour rain today, just sideways rain.
It was one of those nice, slow days for me. I was out house hunting and driving in traffic all day. It was not stressful at all.
No, especially not around Long Island. Never stressful in the car.
Crazy.
Not at all. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am well. Had an interesting day.
How was your day?
My day was fine up until I took a nap.
Well, what was wrong with the nap?
The nap should be
the easiest part.
The nap was fantastic. If you ever take naps, I've incorporated into my day about an hour or so. They're fabulous, especially because I get up at 4 a.m. every day. The only problem is this time of year, as Paul pointed out, it gets dark early. So when I pop up at 4:15 and go, oh my God, I think it's 4:15 a.m. and I think I'm already late for my other job. So you tend to freak out just a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting a nap today, and I thought, well, I'm a grown-up.
Yeah, shut up. Exactly. You've worked them into your day. What?
Yes. Dude, I get up at 4 a.m. The body just naturally says, hey, at 2:30, 3 o'clock, you're going to go sit down and close your eyes for a bit. I'm like, all right.
That's when you take your Metamucil?
Yeah.
Yeah. And my wife gets up at 4 a.m., goes to the gym, and then goes teaching. She's not taking any naps.
Not that you know of. You're here.
No, I'm home when she gets home from school.
What time she go to bed?
Then she's got to take care of the kids. Then she's got to play taxi service. Then she's got to play cook. Then she's got, what are you talking about?
Every day is Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we salute you.
Yes. So, well, I'm good. I'm glad your nap was good.
Yes, except for the freak out part.
And the freak out that you missed, I guess, you didn't freak out that you missed the show, obviously.
No, I just freaked out that it was 4 a.m. and 4:15 a.m. And I'm like, oh my God, I run down the stairs and there's the dog and everybody looking at me like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I'm good. And I trudge back
just
upstairs.
testing out how fast I can stop when I get to the kitchen.
You are familiar with the P and the A, the PM and the AM. That's not, you're not aware of that?
Dude,
No?
when you look and your eyes are glossed over, you're like 4:15, 4:15.
I've been there, man.
And you look up and it's dark.
So what even is that tonight? We haven't had a what even is that in seemingly quite a while.
Yeah, because of the run up to the election. I mean, we were broadcasting different Trump things all over the place.
I'm looking forward to
There was a lot of broadcasting done during the lead up to the election, and we missed a lot of nights and not doing shows. So we have not done a what even is that in a long time. What would be do you want to give a hint on what your what even is that is about tonight?
Yes.
Paul's waited for this all week, so I mean, I don't want to put any pressure on you. I would never want to do that. But Paul is really expecting, I think, kind of like a home run here.
Don't expect too much.
I'm just saying.
Well, I would think, let's see, it's definitely based on some of the most recent news that's been dominating the headlines.
UFOs, of course.
It could be that. It could be something else, and it could have a financial aspect to it.
Oh,
as well as a criminal one.
Insider trading. Oh. No, I'm just guessing. I haven't seen this one.
Let's just do it now.
Okay. No. Can't do that. 9 o'clock. What even is that? Top of hour 2. We'll do some news as well. Fran holding it down on the big board tonight. Of course, Aaron is off, and Harry on the highway over there, of course, on his phone, not paying any attention to what's going on. Harry, you're spinning tunes tonight, Harry.
He's like, huh?
Look at him. Look at him on the phone, calling Kim Jong-un. Harry's on the turntables tonight, so Aaron's got the night off. So where do we start? How about this? Just as a little side housekeeping note, I get great joy out of seeing headlines like this. MSNBC's Nora O'Donnell, Jen Psaki, and Alex Wagner hit all-time viewership lows despite busy news weeks. This is the subtitle, this is the best. Viewers continue to avoid MSNBC. A trio of MSNBC programs hit all-time viewership lows last week as the network continues to struggle on the heels of Trump's Election Day victory. Alex Wagner Tonight, Inside with Jen Psaki, and The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell all hit rock bottom last week, despite a busy news cycle that included the murder of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson and the ensuing manhunt for the killer, a slew of news related to Trump's cabinet picks, the fallout from President Biden announcing he's going to pardon his son, Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad being ousted from power. Lots in the news. Alex Wagner Tonight, which airs during Rachel Maddow's 9 p.m. time slot on Tuesday through Friday because Maddow only airs on Mondays.
For $25 million.
I mean, that might be a worse deal than the Mets just signed. Averaged only 595,000 total viewers during the week of December 2nd for its lowest rated week since the show's debut in 2022. Inside with Jen Psaki averaged 651,000 total viewers for the program's smallest weekly audience since it launched last year. And The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell, well, averaged 61,000 total view. I think we have more than that on Facebook alone most nights. Averaged 61,000 viewers last week.
I still think it's magnificent.
Last week?
Hallmark channel is beating in the ratings.
For its smallest audience in the critical measurable 25-54 demographic since the show launched in 2010.
Is it possible that this show outdoes his?
No, I think it's more than possible.
I mean, they add a rerun of like the Red Hats Go Wild. It's like really that on Hallmark, and that beats them. I mean. Steve, how much would you charge to do the Rachel Maddow? I'll go on air every Monday night and cry for $5 million.
What does she do? Once a week?
Yeah, she does once a week.
One night a week. So 4 times. She's on 4 times a month.
25.
So that's 48 shows for the year.
Yep.
And it's 20. So about $500,000 a show.
Yeah, about $500,000 a show.
$500,000 a show.
She doesn't even get that in terms of audience number
to do that act. No. I mean, yeah, I do it in 2 seconds, but
would you'd chill vaccines and you'd?
I don't know. Maybe I think about it, but it couldn't happen to nicer people over there at a nicer network.
Well, I'm glad they've the market has said that whining and hate is just not it's not as marketable as it used to be, it's nice to see the market talking.
I saw, speaking of that, and to that point, I saw a clip of Kelly O'Donnell. No, I'm not. I got NBC on my mind. Kellyanne Conway at some event where she was sitting at a table with some lefty from some rag or whoever she was from. And she said, you guys still get up every morning thinking it's January 6th, 2021, thinking that you want to talk about woke DEI and then go get an abortion or something to that effect. And the past election we just had was a total repudiation of all of that. You guys just have not seemed to get the message yet.
Yeah, I mean, what's Jen Psaki's show called again?
Inside with Jen Psaki, because she was inside the press room. She's got the inside scoop.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So, but Kellyanne Conway, I thought was right on the money. She's like, you guys don't even realize what the election actually even was.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could still see that now as these people are still arguing back and forth. Ken Jennings, the guy who was on CNN, right? That's his name, Ken?
Ken Jennings, I think, is the guy who won Jeopardy, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. Who's the guy on CNN he's the only Republican that talks?
Yeah, Jennings something.
Oh, Scott Jennings.
Scott Jennings. Sorry,
yes.
Wrong first name. But he's still, you're still finding clips every single day of him having to bat these people down because they're insane belief system is that everything is wrong with everybody else here in this country. They have it right.
It's an endless circular spin on who was to fault for the Democrats losing other than them.
Right. It has to be the American, and now it's the American people, it's the blacks, it's the Hispanics, it's basically everybody who voted. It's your fault that everything is wrong and that they're crying constantly on a nightly basis, and that people hate them because they're idiots.
And the way they stood up for Russiagate and FISA warrants and a weaponized FBI and a weaponized media, and the fact that they never stopped shilling for it, and the entire public knew it was nonsense, and it didn't matter how much pushback they got and how much their echo chambers rejoiced in their nonsense. The viewership and the market itself made it very clear that when they had to take the dislike button off of YouTube,
right,
and when the numbers on YouTube were at next to zero, and the algorithms were showing that there'll be like people will go on for at most a 40-second clip, and they would write a hateful, like, you guys are crazy rant, in the comments, and every comment was negative to what they were doing. It was very clear to everybody that this, new way of thinking, absurd way of thinking, was gone. It's over. We're done being gaslit.
Yeah, the narrative.
The narrative was no longer holding up, and the guilt trip on the people who were just too afraid to speak their mind finally had it. They're like, I give up.
Right.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah, and I don't know, because, Paul, you weren't on the show up until after the election, but we played a lot of clips from CNN and MSNBC where they were talking to their own voters, Democratic voters, supposedly blue voters in blue states saying they're voting for Trump, and they couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
It's like it's right there in front of your face. Yeah. How many more times do you have to be told 2 + 2 = 4 for you to understand it's not 5?
With them, 1,000, because they still don't get it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people on there that still don't get it. There's one guy that I used to troll relentlessly, Vin style, on Facebook. But Vin would get into battles. I would just slam the guy's door shut and leave and let him deal with it. I don't see his posts anymore. I think he's completely shut him down because he was screaming to the sky every single day. There's still a few more out there that I'm quote unquote friends with. That I just laugh and like, man, you still haven't woken up yet.
Yeah, it's and the fact that people are just they're willing to die on the hill, it's because their position becomes part of their fiber. Then it has nothing to do. They just want to be right. Like, look no further than Neil Tyson deGrasse and his wackadoodle. He's so crazy. He refuses to be wrong, and he'll continue to fight and double down and quadruple down and then split eights. He'll keep doing everything he can and act like he's intellectually superior.
All right, just getting started on a Wednesday night. Paul Nolan is in the house. Rick Delgado, what even is that? Coming up at 9 o'clock. Harry on the highway, spinning the tunes. Fran holding it all down on a Wednesday. Live from Studio 6B. Back after this. Chat, we're coming in.
I got to find that clip of Trump.
Chat, what's going on?
Live in the
Hello,
chat.
our friends on YouTube, Facebook, X, or Rumble, Getter, wherever you're watching. Good to see everybody. Welcome on in. Kimberly on X, hello. Love when Harry spins the tunes.
you're the one.
Said.
Did you guys hear this clip of Trump?
Racing Banshee said no. Kathleen Hanley says, hello, Harry from Facebook. Evening, Damon, Tumbleweed Farmer. Hello.
Hello, Rumblers. In the Rumble chat. Dave 3504 4445. Great Googly Mooglies in there. C Holly 3277. RD Bull. Always a good chatter in there as well.
Janice on Facebook. Hello. Susan on Facebook. Hello. Mr. AZ Mikey. Hello. Connie Lou, hello on X. Pouring in Boston, Carol. Yes, it is pouring here, and the wind's blowing like 60, 70 mile an hour gusts. It's coming in sideways. Julian on Facebook, hello. Sue on YouTube, hello. Is Paul ready for the 2 a.m. Naked Hammer Fight Club? Drag Blacker on YouTube. Yes. He is.
Always.
Who isn't?
You kidding me? Set my
Kimberly
alarm
on
clock for that.
X. Damon finally gave me a shout out. Try to do as many of them as I can. They go by awfully fast. P1 Firefighter, YouTube, hello. Mike on X. Damon's only stopping to X tonight. So I'm already getting flack from the people in X already.
Well,
There are no comments on Getter. That's not a good sign.
I say X right away, and
you got to be on the right one.
they're just hammering me. Hello, Donna on
network
Facebook.
stream. The network stream is where everybody's at.
Oh, the network
Yeah,
stream.
the
Okay,
network
my bad. Thank you for the heads up.
Clint Leggett, what's going on, my friend? Gary Bishop, LFSXP, best show on RAV. Thank you, Gary. I think they're all pretty good. Morning, boys, from Australia. It's 98 degrees here in Perth. Where's Mary Hilson?
I would love
nice.
that.
Let's go.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome, is right.
So I got to email this clip to you, right there.
Yeah, email. That guy, I don't know yet. YouTube's going to take 2 days.
Howdy, YouTubers.
Moon Pie, I got my pelts going. Nice. Hello, Tina on Facebook. Hello, everybody.
And I got to jump on the extras, the Twitter.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday, December 11th. Glad you're in. Real America's Voice. Paul Nolan's here. Rick Delgado's got What Even Is That coming up at 9 o'clock. Fran and Harry on the highway holding it down. Want to say hello to all our friends in the chat, wherever you're watching, Facebook, Getter, YouTube, X, Rumble. Welcome on in. Glad everybody's here. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe or follow or whatever platform you're on, whatever it calls for. Make sure you become a follower of our social media. And, of course, head over to livefromstudio6b.com as well. If you have a Facebook or Google account, you can sign up to be a member at livefromstudio6b.com. About 10 seconds. If you have those two, it's real easy. And if you don't have those two and you just want to use any email address, you can do that as well. So head over there, livefromstudio6b.com. Like I said, What Even Is That coming up at 9 o'clock. It's first What Even Is That we've had in a while.
I know.
I talked to Slick Rick, our friend Rick Emirati, today. I told him about what was going on here last night, and he actually did not see the show last night at all. He was spending the time with family and picking out. And he could not have been once again. He said, you're going to have to give me a whole segment when I get back. And I said, the segment is yours. And I told him what had happened, and I told him the money that was donated through all you beautiful people. And I gave him the choice. I said, do you want me to? Because I wanted to give him the choice because, Harry brought up, I think, the point, or somebody brought up the point, being in his position of the Chamber of Commerce president, there was going to be an overwhelming I'm sure, show of flowers. And I looked into the flowers with Harry's help last night and then this morning. And then I said, you know what? Let me call Slick. So I called Slick, and again, he was so thankful, of course. Said that they were having a rough time. I said, what do you want me to do? I said, the people want to be a part of it. And they want to feel like they've been a part of some of this, and obviously you know that. And he said that he felt like he would be more honored if we made a donation to the family for their celebration after they leave the burial site. And I said, you got it. I said, I'll let the audience know that that's what you'd like to do. And so that's what I'm going to do. We'll make a donation to them for the amount that was brought in from YouTube and Rumble and anything else that came in on the website. And in the celebration of Nick Emirati after they leave the burial, what we raise will go help to fund that. Because my understanding, it's going to be quite an undertaking for the family to do in a short amount of time. So that's what we're going to do. And again, I want to let him tell you himself when he gets back, but when you talk to people, you can just hear it in their voice. Obviously, very, very appreciative, and it'll be a nice celebration of life, of memories for them, and we'll be able to lift some of that burden off of them, and it's all due to you. So I'm happy to facilitate it, but people saying good job to me, and it's not me, it's all you. I'll just facilitate it, and just fantastic. So that's where we're at with Slick. I once again told him to take the week off, so I don't think we'll see him this week, obviously. We'll see maybe next week. But he could not be more appreciative. So, all right, let's do some news. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition. Man, doesn't work as quick as it used to. At livefromstudio6b.com, 15% off. Check it out. It's on the homepage. Rick Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, I think the big story has to be a continuation of the drones over New Jersey, right? Are we being inundated? Is that the new?
100% biggest. I got like 4 things on it tonight.
Sounds like a Woody Allen movie.
But is that the new, hey, look over here while they do something else? I don't know. But let's go with what we have right now. New York Post reported November 28th that a photo was clicked by U.S. veteran and licensed tour guide Dennis Diggins. And what was it clicked of? He's not sure because it was happening over this. We're talking about a sighting over D.C. This started a couple weeks ago. This actually story about these things happening in the sky started over D.C. And now, of course, everybody's talking about the mysterious New Jersey drones. The latest coming from, believe it or not, Representative Jeff Van Drew. I don't know if you saw him on the news today talking about a very real possibility of where these drones are coming from. He agrees that they should be shot down. It's amazing that nobody's taken one down yet. You would think.
I'm surprised too.
But the federal government seems to be giving 2 answers. No, they're not ours, and no, they don't belong to somebody else.
Yeah, well,
they're not one of our enemies.
Wasn't there one senator or congressman said that it was the mothership with Russia?
That's who I'm talking about. That's Representative Jeff Van Drew out of New Jersey.
Right. Yep.
Here he is talking about that on cut number 6. He talks about not only that they should be shot down, but he believes, and he gets it from good authority, some good information, that they're coming from one of our adversaries. Cut number 6. Go.
And from very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources, I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology. But let's pretend that's possible. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they are speaking to me in confidentiality. These drones should be shot down.
Yeah, so there you are, Representative Jeff Van Drew out of New Jersey. He seems to think, and he's getting it from his sources, that it's Iran, courtesy of the Chinese regime.
Okay. Fran, do you have the cut I put in today, or should I play it from here? Okay.
Is that the one with the press secretary thingy?
Here is the Pentagon. Yes.
Oh, this one.
The Pentagon's meeting today. And the Pentagon, let's hope my audio here works. The Pentagon was asked about Jeff Van Drew's appearance on Fox. This was from, I believe, the Fox reporter. Here is what she had to say.
Sabrina, can you tell me what the Pentagon is doing to address this issue of drone sightings over New Jersey? It's near sensitive installations. The FBI is involved. What is the Pentagon doing?
Sure. So at this time, aware of those drone sightings that have been reported, at this time we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening, but At no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
Can you rule out that these are American drones or U.S. military drones?
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
Hang on, Congressman Jeff Van Drew, he says that the drones in New Jersey should be shot down. Is there any reason not to bring down these drones to figure out what they are?
Well, that's a decision for local law enforcement. If a drone or any activity is a threat to military installations, they always have the right for self-defense, and they can engage to respond to any potential risks. But with some of the drone activity or activities that you're referring to, there was not a threat to any military installation, so they didn't feel the need to engage.
That is a bizarre, and that might be understating it, answer, and we'll talk about why when we get back right after this.
In the chat.
Chat. What's going on? What's going on? Sounds like double talk, Mary on YouTube says. Sounds a lot more than that. Sounds like stupid talk. Or at least talk for people who she thinks are stupid.
Right. Yeah, because it's either one or the other. Both answers that she gave can't be true.
It's
then they'd have to be organic.
First things first. It's the U.S. government. Second thing, it's the Pentagon.
Right.
There's no way you're going to believe one word either of them say. Now put them in together. It's like, how could you believe a word that comes out of that? You just got to try to figure out what they're selling. You got to read the tea leaves and see what kind of BS is behind the scenes of it. It doesn't make any sense.
My favorite line is the fact that she says, there's no threat to any military installation. We didn't perceive any threat. And I'm thinking to myself, well, how about the fact that they're in the air?
Yeah.
Would that qualify as enough of a threat?
Not only that,
what do they have to do? They have to come down and hover right over.
Right.
They're in the air.
And they're exploiting gaps in our airspace.
What do you mean you don't perceive them
And
as
we
a
don't
threat?
know what it's containing. Maybe it has a laser beam. Knock it down. Shoot one down.
We don't perceive them as any threat. There's nothing we've seen yet.
I thought you needed an FAA license. Fran would know. Don't you need a special license to fly a drone? And if you don't, it's highly illegal. There's some kind of
you couldn't even get it if you were me and you were trying to fly your drone. You couldn't even get it off the ground if you were close to a installation or an airport. You try to fly a drone right here. Our closeness to MacArthur, you couldn't even get a drone off the ground.
Consumer drones are GPS locked, so that can't happen. But if there's no restraining system in it, you can just fly it wherever.
Fran agrees with you that you can't just.
They're not consumer grade.
They're not consumer grade. Is what he's saying. So these things don't even look like drones. These things look like mini
mini airplanes,
F-14s or something.
Right. These are like high-powered machines, right?
Yeah. Everything we said yesterday about this was true, even though, what do I know about any of this? Nothing. Just this falls into the old, you don't need anything more than common sense to know that this is screwy. This is unexplainable, what is going on here.
Well, good thing we could trust everything our government tells us.
Yes,
exactly.
That's the best part.
minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Glad you're in on a Wednesday night. Paul Nolan's here. He's going to, he's got some thoughts, and he's here for, of course, What Even Is That? And Rick Delgado's going to do What Even Is That? 9 p.m. He's also going to do some news. Fran's holding it down on the big board tonight as Aaron is off. Harry on the highway spinning tunes. So, talking about this drone activity over in New Jersey. I just played, if we can go back, put this back up, Fran. Let's just go back to the Pentagon today, and as Paul says, it's at least we know we can trust what's coming out of there. We can trust what they're telling us. But can we just go through a couple of her statements here? Let's just go through this one more time.
Aware of those drone sightings that have been reported. At this time, we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. Okay,
so what evidence then would they have? Does there come a point where they have an interest in what is going on? At this point, we have no interest in its foreign an adversary. You would think she would be able to follow that up with what they do. What do you have an interest in? Do you have an interest that these things are actually flying seemingly night after night after night, coming in from what reports are off the coast? Do you have an interest in that they don't look like DJI drones that were bought from the Apple store? They look like mini fighter jets, some of them, from the pictures I saw. What do they have an interest in here?
And what's interesting, too, is that she says this, but she also said that they are not investigating it. That's for local law enforcement. So how does she know what kind of evidence they have if they're not investigating it?
So here's what, let's keep going.
Continue to monitor what is happening, but...
So what, again, what does she have a definition of what is happening? How do they here, I don't know how many are we weeks into this?
2 weeks at least.
I mean, do they have an assessment of what is happening? Do they need more time?
At no point were our installations threatened.
Now, how can that's the line of the whole thing for me. At no point, like the fact that they're in the air doesn't qualify as a point in time where they could have been threatened? No, I guess not.
Well, according to Van Drew,
they're far enough away, or what is it?
Well, according to Van Drew, he says the fact that they're evading, they're flying specific areas to evade specific airspace means that there's something up, that they know the layout of that airspace, that they can navigate it and not cross over to cause an engagement. So that again is troubling.
It's like the balloon deal. Right. So it's a weather balloon. It's coming in from the north. We don't need to worry about it. And then of course, we're all the way across the country. Oh, wait, it actually might be collecting data on all of our sensitive, military outlets we have across the country.
Electrical grids.
So we'll take it out when it crosses over Maryland and hits the ocean again. After it's gone across the whole damn country.
Yeah, and collected everything it needed.
So what are we going to hear? We're going to find out what here? When? When are we going to find out what's going on here? What's the nefarious actions that are happening now that no one seems to have an interest in? I mean, that statement is just bonkers.
What do you expect?
I think,
what do you expect from the Pentagon?
Right.
It's the fact that, you know what is, we need to get our heads checked, because the fact that we're continuously disappointed by everything that comes out of D.C., it's like, shouldn't we have learned our lesson by now?
I know, but I think it's more to the point of yes, maybe the talk is all you just makes you know. But where is Secretary Austin, the guy who runs that outfit over there? You know, that guy who Biden refers to as that guy? Where are they? How could this just go on for 2 weeks? Everybody acknowledge, seemingly, now I'll give you a different take here in a second, that there's something here that's at best not right, at worst nefarious, yet we're continuing to let it happen. Feds seem to be like, ho-hum, just another day. Talk to the local sheriff. We'll see what he's doing. After he leaves the coffee shop, he might take an interest in it. We're going to leave it up to him. We see no problem. We see nothing. No, they're not a threat. They're not flying over anything important. They're not doing anything. Like they have seemingly no interest in this.
Maybe they're migrant drones. They're looking for,
asylum.
Right. They're looking for asylum, Damon, because that's exactly what this sounds like. It sounds like the border policy of the last 4 years, right? It sounds like it could be a mirroring of that policy where we see nothing, we know nothing. Sergeant Schultz.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Now, in the New York Post today,
I can't believe a citizen has not popped one of them.
I know.
I mean, I can't.
I mean, some of the footage has been, obviously, they've been close enough for normal phones to get pretty decent footage.
Yeah, and everything you do on your phone, as good as they may be, makes everything look like it's so far away. Some of these pictures look like it's right on top of them.
And none of them look like what we would think of as a drone.
Right.
No.
None of them look like a drone, like what we would fly.
Yeah.
They look like mini, fighter jets, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that? That's the one I saw.
They look military grade. And you know what was another thing she said? What was it? Because you got to parse the language with these people when they talk. She said it's not U.S. military. Okay, so it's not U.S. military.
Yeah, so it's U.S. what? What other department you guys
let's see.
Is it there?
Right, exactly. Is it some type of other agency that you're not naming? Is that who these belong to?
Well, Steve Jankowski today in the New York Post. The mysterious drones that have been tormenting New Jersey residents for weeks could be part of a top secret government they're doing a good job of keeping it top secret. Top secret government program, security experts told the Post on Tuesday, as lawmakers push for answers over the troubling sightings. The feds have been mum about the daily drone activity in Morris, Passaic, Bergen counties and beyond since the gizmos were first spotted on November 18th. That's a month.
Yeah.
But several experts said the U.S. government might be behind the unsettling flights, which could be part of a super secret military program meant to test new hardware before it hits the battlefield. Quote, my first guess is these are potentially government programs kept within what's known as our special access program, which is purposely put together to keep even the most cleared people out. It is truly top secret, said Clint Emerson, a retired Navy SEAL and owner of security company Escape the Wolf. That's why government's like, we don't know. They're being truthful, he said, adding that the circle could be as small as a dozen officials. They don't even know, most people in the government don't even know the program exists. Emerson said it's impossible to know what the drones might be doing, but he suspects the secret is the technology they're carrying, not the devices themselves. It could be different types of collection capabilities, so different types of cameras, high-definition infrared or thermal. A second payload, for instance, could be hardware that grabs all the cell phone data in a given environment. How much data can we collect with this? Let's say we got 10 drones, they fly in a grid. How much cell phone traffic can we pick up? Not actual conversations, but just the signature of millions of cell phones. What can 10 drones pick up going over an area? That's a legitimate test, he said. They're not invading your privacy. That's legitimate data, and that's a effing capability. And what better place to do that than New Jersey, the country's most densely populated state? He said, this would be my number one guess. It's a very closely held program, and they're doing what they need to do to ensure the technology actually works. The weirdest part is if that is what it is, the people running it wouldn't have to say a word. The beauty of a special access program is that they're kind of in their own lawless little world, he said. They can go do whatever they want, and they don't have to tell anybody about it. Kelly McCann, a security expert and former Marine Special Missions officer who worked for the Office of Naval Research, echoed Emerson's comments and said he thinks the government is testing out some operational capacity. It's weird how we're supposed to have control of the skies, but this is going on and no one is saying anything, he said. I don't buy it. Tech exists to drop one or all of them, and they haven't. It's BS. That's likely not much comfort to New Jersey politicians who are dealing with swarms of complaints about the low-flying devices. Understandably, Jersey residents are very alarmed. And actually, there was a Jersey resident who went to a meeting, State Representative Brian...
All right, so you're here today. You were just in...
Well, it's playing on its own. Here it is. This is Representative... Let me get his name here. State Representative Brian Bergen, he went to a meeting on all this today, and here's what he said.
All right, so you're here today. You were just inside. You walked out. Why?
I walked out because it was worthless. It was the biggest amateur hour presentation I've ever seen about anything. Okay, it was ridiculous. There were no answers. Every question that was asked by a member of the state legislature, great questions, no answers, no resolution. They don't know where the drones are coming from. They don't know who's doing it. They don't know why they're doing it. But they say there's no credible threat. It was annoying to be there. I drove 2 hours to be here today. Spent an hour in there. I got to drive 2 hours back. The biggest waste of 5 hours in my entire life.
So why do you think they called this meeting?
I have no idea. Why would you call a meeting to tell people you don't know anything? I have no idea. And then when the legislators would ask questions, there were no answers. Here's the most frustrating part. The colonel of the state police said that he had a helicopter of his flying above one of these drones, a 6-foot drone or something, I can't remember exactly what he said, and he felt unsafe for his helicopter, so he just let it go. Just let it go. Where'd it go? Who knows? Didn't want to follow it because you didn't feel safe. Is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? I mean, honestly.
Do they have any idea where these drones are originating?
No, they don't. They would. Maybe if they followed that sucker when it landed, they would know, but they don't. This is a complete lack of effort, in my opinion, on trying to figure this out. This is not about ability. We have the technology, we have the people, we have the training, we have the resources, we have the money. It's just a lack of effort. I mean,
why?
I don't know. They should be saying, you know what they should have done today with productive use of our time, if they didn't know anything? Come in there and say, hey, legislators, we don't know anything. But if you get us these 10 things, do these 10 things for us, and the governor calls in this kind of action, we can figure it out. Will you help us? And then we would have helped them. But instead it was just excuse after excuse, and we know nothing. It was infuriating, and I got up and I walked out.
You've been in the service, right?
Yeah, I was an attack helicopter pilot, Apache helicopter pilot in the Army, and I helped stand up the initial unmanned aircraft training battalion in the aviation sector of the Army. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, and these guys are not doing the job they need to do to figure out what's going on, and that is the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, and the state police.
And they're saying no threat to Americans.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing. When I walked in here today, I was actually pretty calm. I was excited to be here to find out a couple things. I thought they'd be like, hey, listen, it's FedEx, trying to figure it out. But instead, I got the most ridiculous amateur hour briefing I've ever sat through.
Wow, that's truly...
Apache helicopter
FedEx,
pilot
we got a lot of Christmas deliveries. They're just working out some things. Don't you worry.
He sounds like he's the type of guy. If you just said, "Hey, here's the keys to that helicopter," he'll be like, "I'll go find out what's going on." Yeah. That's how easy it is.
100%.
No doubt.
100%. That guy's no nonsense.
Right.
I mean, that was like such a combination of badass soldier and New Jersey boy. I mean, that's the perfect
Good
match
combo.
with him.
Good combo. All right, 17th to the hour, live from Studio 6B. We got more to do. We're back right after this.
He's fine. And we're live in the chat.
Chat. What's going on, chat?
I have a theory I want to get into on this. It's a little different.
Okay.
And I actually did a...
You picking out a song here?
Well, what even is that?
Pick one out that's like actually long enough to make it to the break, would you please? Hey, we got super chats tonight. Oh, look out. Okay, let me go through these.
Howdy, Twixers. Everybody in the X Twitter chat that I call Twixers.
Why don't I get all of them? Jane. Zoom in. Jane Pavlajak, in honor of Rick's father. Super chat. Thank you very much, Jane. Christine Chinchilla, super chat. God bless Slick and his family. Thank you very much. Child of the King at Rick Emirati for the family, from the family. Use as you need it. Thank you very much. Who else am I missing? That guy on YouTube, Big D. Here's a little something extra so Rick can get a bottle of something special in honor of his wonderful father. Thank you very much. That guy on YouTube. Very nice. Am I missing any? I get them all. Jane, I got. God, YouTube's got to do a better way of putting these things. It's just impossible to keep track. Okay, I think that's it. I think 4 of them. I got all 4. Those of you asking who are not on YouTube, we always have had a support our cause on the website. If those of you are not on YouTube or not on Rumble, which I didn't even know you could do this through Rumble as well. But if you're looking for another way, you can go to livefromstudio6b.com, go to the Contact Us page, and I believe on the Contact Us page there is a Support Our Cause donation box where you can make a donation there and you can write what it's for. All right. I think that's all of them. What else is going on, chat? Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Sergeant Arp says there's a new super chat. I don't see it. Maybe I can. Oh, I can find it on here quicker. Here we go. Isabella Grace, thank you very much. Matthew 5:4. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Amen. Thank you.
Watch out, Rick Delgado. The mothership is coming.
The first thing I thought of when that guy said mothership, I'm like, oh, great. Here we go.
Live from Studio 6B, 13th to the hour on a Wednesday night. Paul Nolan's here. Rick Delgado's got What Even Is That coming up, 9 o'clock. Harry on the highway, spinning the tunes. Fran holding it down on the big board tonight. Aaron's off. So, Delgado, you were saying, before I get to this next mystery drone thread by Lieutenant Tim McMillan, you were saying you had a theory here as well?
I have a theory, yes. Along with, of course, it could be, something, you were talking about a small group of people that are inside. We've heard about these groups before. They're called the Majestic 12 or the Magic 12 when it comes to all this UFO stuff. But it could be a black program that, all this money disappears, that gets allocated to these black programs. It could be something like that. Like you said, a small group of people that have kind of the run of to do whatever you want. Nobody's ever going to check on you. You don't ever have to explain anything. Just come up with whatever you come up with, and then we'll take it for the military and use it. It could be something like that. It could be a Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, one of those types of things, right? But also, I don't know if you remember this, Damon. You probably blocked it out of your probably scrubbed it from your brain. I actually did a What Even Is That about something called Project Bluebeam. You might remember. Now, I don't know if you remember that. But here's cut number 10, and it goes to, if you've seen Spider-Man Far From Home, the second Spider-Man movie, where all the drones kind of take shape and make,
with,
right, they show up as back, right, and they elevate Mysterio, and he takes up that kind of crap. It could be something like that, and that's what this Project Bluebeam kind of shows. Cut number 10, check this out, and you can see it for yourself. There's a lot of videos like this online that you can find on X and elsewhere in Rumble, so you can see this stuff and the technology of what they can put in the sky to make you believe. Check this out, cut 10.
Nation control. This delusional project aims to stage a large-scale fake extraterrestrial invasion worldwide, with UFOs visible in the sky, and to introduce a fake god to save humanity from this invasion. They would employ highly realistic secret military technology, and they have recently conducted tests. The result is crazy. The ultimate goal would be to eradicate all religions and establish a single unified religion, thereby achieving complete control over the population through fear. This project, combined with the HARP project, would enable the manifestation of a religious figure capable of causing earthquakes, storms, and natural disasters to more strongly modify the belief systems of the masses.
Really need to start.
Remember in Spider-Man Far From Home when they used holograms to portray Mysterio as a hero?
See?
Now recall this phrase. In the movie, we'll tell them the truth, and in reality, we'll lie to them.
Yeah, that's exactly what the government does to us. Right? I mean, think about it.
Why do you watch that clip with such intent? When I watch you watch it, like you're watching it like,
Because when you see stuff like this, when you see some of the other videos that are out there that make it look like the sky is being opened up by some type of creature, or they have whales dancing across a crowd, you're like, what the hell is going on? What can they do? How much can they do to get people to believe certain things that aren't really there? Right? And then you've got a guy like Dr. Stephen Greer. You can look into him too. He's been testifying about this stuff for years and what they do and the technology that is out there.
Well, it's safe to say NASA's ability in the U.S. military is usually 20 years in advance of what we have here now. I think that's a fair guess and assessment, especially now at the exponential rate at which things are growing. Who knows how advanced they are? We don't, obviously, extraterrestrials, there's been so many whistleblowers saying that over in Area 54, there's been, was that Studio 54?
No, it's Studio 54, Area 51.
After Area 51, Studio 54, everyone was high.
They said it at Studio 54 though. After they had a couple shots.
They say they reverse engineer a lot of this stuff. Project Bluebeam and HARP are real. Project Cirrus is real.
Told you.
I mean, they're real things, and weather modification is real. It stared. Sure. Come on, they used it.
They've admitted it.
No, I know. Are you guys down with Project? Can I just let me just do a simple?
Let me just show you real quick.
No, how about not? How about in the chat? Put a 1 if you think I need to be saved here tonight from these two. One, save Big D. 2. These two are right on the money.
Let them cook.
I'm just saying.
Let them cook. Exactly. 1, save me. 2, let them cook. Go ahead, Doug.
What if we just, you know what? Let's run cut number 9 and just, we can talk over this because it's just B-roll. You can take a look at what they're doing with this drone technology. Run cut number 9, Fran. And this is a field with thousands of drones, and they all go up at the same time. They're all coordinated. I don't know if you've seen this. They use this stuff over colleges, for halftime shows at football games and stuff. And it's amazing. All of these drones, just look at them. They just swarm.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
Chat, I love you tonight. Thank you.
Wait, hold
Thank
on.
you for the 1. I am so
There's a lot of 2s here. Let them cook. What do you think? There's more 2s. There's so many more 2s. Are you cracking up?
Think about stealth technology, stealth fighters. Remember? All of a sudden they showed up in 1992. Right? We didn't know about them, but they were there for 10 years, and we had no clue. And then all of a sudden, they show up, and they're taking on Saddam Hussein.
Cook.
Right?
Okay, so let me just interrupt
the 2s
this
are everywhere.
Very fine conversation for 1 second and get back to what exactly now is your theory through all this?
My theory is that it could be that this is a test run of some sort.
For the new Batman movie?
Basically, what you were talking about in your article. From the article you read, that a small group, and they're testing this technology.
Yes, that guy said this.
Right.
Yeah, Emerson said it.
And I'm saying this could be part of it.
This could be. It absolutely could be. Let's go to Lieutenant Tim McMillan. He says, I'm going to try to break this down since some are really struggling here. Contrary to popular belief, the U.S. government is not a monolith. It is a massive heterogeneous institution. Under the umbrella of, quote-unquote, the government, he says, you will find varied agencies and components, each with their own set of responsibilities and authorities. I'll use an example to fully illustrate this point. Let's say a couple of months ago, a Russian Orlan 10 drones were launched from a cargo vessel in the North Sea, flying reconnaissance flights near Germany. Understandably, this information would be picked up by German intelligence and passed along to NATO allies subsequently because this is an intelligence matter deriving from foreign sources without any direct connections to military action. This information might fall under the authority and responsibility of the U.S. intelligence community and not the DoD. The IC would then monitor the Russian reconnaissance activity, perhaps even identifying more vessels in other areas, for example, off the coast of the US and the UK. Through persistent monitoring, the IC is able to determine these Orlan 10 drones will go out in waves of 3 or 5 or more, with each drone having a complementary capability like electronic warfare payloads and data relays, capable of flying at altitudes between 4K to 15K for up to 12 to 15 hours. These Orlan 10s aren't exactly state-of-the-art fixed-wing drones, but they serve a purpose. In this case, it seems like the purpose is to monitor. The production and shipment of Western material destined for Ukraine, which again is an intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance mission and not inherently a defense military mission. Therefore, the monitoring of this activity continues to fall under the IC. Now, for the sake of argument, let's say some of these Orlan 10s are seen and reported by casual observers. These initial reports spun a public craze, further fueled by sensational headlines and random people on social media. Suddenly there's a drone, perhaps an alien ship, in every corner of the sky. As public interest reaches fever pitch, because they are separate entities with different responsibilities and authorities, the DoD had to ask the IC, hey, is everything all good? What's going on? The IC says this is an intelligence matter and not a DoD matter. The DoD responds, you had me at not a DoD matter. I'll finish this when we get back.
All right, so back to live in the chat, because obviously we don't do this over the Real America Voice Network. Operation Bluebeam is a big deal, and HARP is a monster.
Yes.
If you go into, it was 2007 when I really started to learn about HARP, and when you look at its capabilities and what it can do, it's frightening. Some of the science behind it says it could actually split the Earth. It's so powerful if they line 3 of them up at once. You know, it's, what is it, 50,000 watt antennas all combined together that sends a beam to the ionosphere that comes directly back down at like beyond light speed, and it can measure what's in the ground below it. And that's how they started using it to find uranium. They used it to find oil. They used it for a lot of things. And some people believe it was used to blast Haiti. And Putin had even said, we have the same weapon. And apparently, you know, Russia has the same HARP program as well.
And some people say that's what was used on Hawaii.
A lot of people say that. And the evidence, and some people are saying that the way they can modify storms, that's what obliterated North Carolina.
Right.
Which, by the way, we're sending more money to now we're
Ukraine
and
Uganda,
an F ton of money to to Syria, and it's the same playbook as they did in Libya and Iraq. So it's
see, I'm not crazy, Damon.
No, I didn't.
But again, if you do want to see some,
reactions are so
interesting
hysterical
stuff on Bluebeam, go on X.
Please do.
Can we just all meet in New Jersey and do it?
You're going to meet us there? Want me to drive you?
Can we learn about this while we sit underneath the drone?
As long as I get to try and shoot one down, sure.
Try to find any of those documentaries about HARP.
Can we sit in a house that has a blue roof?
Every one of them.
That's the only roof. That's
that's right, the blue roof thing.
Can we sit in a house that has a blue roof?
Yes,
and learn about this while the drones fly overhead?
I agree.
I would feel complete. I see what
he's doing again.
I'd feel safer, especially with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
HARP is real. Operation Sirius. Look it up.
So is Bluebeam.
Bluebeam is real.
Look up Dr. Greer, Stephen Greer.
Playing the harp is real.
He's been talking about disclosure coming for some time.
Someone said, I see why Big D sits between them.
Someone said before, Damon, blink twice if you need to be saved.
So what did the two?
All right.
2 was a blowout.
9 o'clock, hour 2, brought to you by Reynolds Wrap here live from Studio 6B. Paul Nolan's sitting in with the boys here. Rick Delgado's going to do some news. Harry on the highway spinning them tunes. Fran holding it down on the big board. Aaron's off tonight. Damon's not the brightest crayon in the box, someone just said. That was Kareen on Facebook said Damon's not the brightest crayon in the box. Must be her first night watching if she's just figured that out. So welcome to the show. Glad you're in.
Two.
That was a lot of ones, too. There was a lot of ones.
It's all twos.
All twos.
Lots to get to here in hour 2. We'll move on to some other things. So let me just finish Tim McMillan. He says, Lieutenant Tim McMillan says, so when DOD says they have no evidence of anything like what we heard today, perhaps what they mean, this is to your point of the parse the language, what they mean is we don't have any evidence because this is intel matter, not a defense matter.
Right.
Perhaps they are very literally saying it without saying it. When NORAD announces they conducted an in-depth analysis of recent drone events, and then we're told their assistance was not needed, again, because it's an intelligence matter, not a defense matter. So in summary, when one element of the government says it doesn't know what's going on, this doesn't inherently mean that someone else with the correct authorities and responsibilities aren't very much in the know and have a firm grasp of the situation. Then again, maybe it's just aliens and we're all wrong. He says.
Could be. Well, because according to the Pentagon there, she said she could positively say it's not U.S. military, and she also said in the next breath, it's definitely not from any other country. So if it's not from our country or any other country, there's only one third option. It could be organic. Mm-hmm. That means it came from somewhere else. That's not considered a country.
Huh.
I don't know.
All right.
It's time now for one of my new favorite segments here on the show.
What?
And that is Rick Delgado with What Even Is That?
All right, Damon. So thank you, and
you're welcome.
So now that the election is over, and you know who's back? Daddy's back. That's right. Daddy is back.
Daddy Trump, he ain't playing.
He ain't playing. That's right. Things are finally starting to kind of return to normal, you could say, from President-elect Trump being, President-elect Trump, to the liberal commie Democrats freaking out about, just about everything.
Okay, let's pause it here. Harry, do we have a hold of this on the? Harry rolls it back to a black screen while Delgado's trying to do it. No, I mean it's fine. We could just. Should we just do it again?
This is the
Fran, should we start over?
Of live TV.
Okay, let's start over. Let's go.
I can see the production levels gone up so much in the year and a half I'm gone.
Let's go from the beginning. It's time now for one of my take two. It's time now for one of my new favorite segments here on the show. And that, of course, is Rick Delgado with What Even Is That?
Two. Cut two. So, Damon, wow, this sounds like a deja vu. So now that the election is over and Daddy's back, oh my goodness.
Ooh, Daddy Trump, he ain't playing.
That's right. Things are finally starting to return to normal from let's say President-elect Trump being, President Trump, to liberal commie Democrats freaking out about, just about everything. Everything, let's face it, we're definitely, for the most part, back on track to the slowest moving teleprompter I've ever seen in my life.
All right. We were going to do What Even Is That?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do it tomorrow night. Well, Fran, what do you think? We'll do it tomorrow night? Okay.
I'm sorry, Paul.
No, I'm coming in tomorrow night. I'm going to do sports.
Paul will be here. Paul will be here tomorrow.
All right, good.
And Aaron will be back, and
Harry won't be here.
Harry will return his rightful self to
whatever.
Not running the teleprompter. So yes. All right, we'll do What Even Is That tomorrow night because it's not going to work the way we're doing it now. So Ricky can't improvise while he's waiting for the thing to roll.
Should we move on to MK Ultra?
Sure, why not?
Well, I said hour 2 was sponsored by Reynolds Wrap, so maybe we should. No, let's actually move on to it. I got actually a bunch of stories tonight I want to hit because we've talked about some of this stuff in the past, and it was James, what's his name, who did the look into the Act Blue. And did you see the story that John Solomon breaks tonight?
Yes, I saw that story from John.
Act Blue bombshell, Dem money platform, which, I mean, if you didn't know something like this was coming, or this was the most crooked front group deal we've ever seen, I don't know what you were thinking, but here you go. Put your shocked face on. Democrat money platform tells Congress it didn't block foreign gift cards until the fall. Act Blue disclosed. I'll bet for some reason they were pretty much forced into doing it. And that you can bet that's the only reason they let on to this is because either somebody found out or they knew their hand was going to be forced. Act Blue, the massive online fundraising platform for liberal causes, has informed Congress it did not automatically block donations made with foreign-bought gift cards until recently. A potentially significant revelation in an ongoing investigation into whether China, Russia, Iran, or Venezuela routed illicit money to Democrat candidates. House Chairman Brian Stell of Wisconsin, whose panel oversees election integrity, told Just the News on Tuesday that Act Blue turned over documents under subpoena showing a major change in September to its donor verification policies designed to protect against illicit money flowing into political campaigns. Act Blue disclosed that it updated its policies on September 9th to, quote, automatically reject donations that used foreign prepaid gift cards. Domestic gift cards are from high-risk sanctioned countries and have had the highest level of risk as determined by its solution provider. The change occurred just 3 days after Stale introduced the Secure Handling of Internet Electronic Donations, the SHIELD Act, on September 6th to ensure foreign money stayed out of online political fundraising. Before the change, Steele said, donations made with foreign gift cards were not automatically rejected by Act Blue. Please raise your hand or put your shocked face on if you're surprised by this. Oh, no one's raised their hand. Wow, what a shocker that is. Who could possibly be surprised by this?
Yeah. We're coming directly back from all the countries we've sent foreign aid to, and especially Ukraine. Just a nice little money laundering scam, another new way to launder money. They didn't have what's his name, Altman Fried, whatever his name is, to scam it through the crypto.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah, they had that too. Steele disclosed earlier this fall that his committee is investigating whether 4 foreign powers, China, Russia, Venezuela, and Iran, used Act Blue to route illicit foreign money into Democrat coffers. Let's see, maybe we could save Congressman Steele the time of the investigation. The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
That's to save America $30 billion in investigative fees.
I just saved, yes, exactly. His committee referred thousands of suspicious donations to state attorney generals in 5 states, prompting an investigation that has now expanded to 19 states. And if you remember, James O'Keefe, remember the investigation he was working on, where he was going to these seemingly old ladies' houses saying, why did you donate 47 times?
Right.
And they were saying, what?
Yeah, they had no idea about these donations that were made in their name, right, to the Democratic Party, which is, Act Blue is a front for the Democratic Party. Yeah, it's already been proven. They showed it on the website that they tracked it. It went from Act Blue, you hit a link, and boom, it takes you right to the Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. That's where the money ends up. But all these donations. Some of these people, they're on fixed incomes. They're retired. They're bringing in Social Security, and that's it. What they're living on. But meanwhile, there's records of them donating $100,000-$200,000 to the Democrat Party. And nobody seemed to be, nobody really raised a big, you didn't see it on CBS, you didn't see it on NBC. Nope. None of the mainstream news wanted to talk about this because, well, that's their guys. Those are their guys. They can't rat out their guys.
It's unbelievable. So criminal, but they get away with it, and they just keep getting away with it. Daddy's home.
In addition, a Wisconsin Republican strategist filed a lawsuit in October alleging his email identity was misused to make Democrat and liberal donations he did not authorize or pay for. The judge in the case recently approved a subpoena compelling Act Blue to disclose certain evidence in the case. Meanwhile, Stell and the House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer have requested to see suspicious activity reports filed by banks flagging certain monies flowing through Act Blue. Comer recently alerted lawmakers there could be hundreds such reports to review. I bet there's more than that. Act Blue has broadly denied wrongdoing, but says it's cooperating with the various investigations. It claims to have raised more than $2 billion in small online fundraising donations for Democrat and liberal causes since its inception in 2004. Act Blue said it was the victim of disinformation and was committed to complying with the law and protecting donors' privacies. We rigorously protect donors' information by maintaining a robust security program, they said, holds itself to the highest legal and ethical standards. I mean, come on. Stiles said while getting to the bottom of any foreign funds that flowed through Act Blue, it's imperative. He also focused on enduring new legislation that closes any potential loopholes that allowed bad actors to cheat on political fundraising. Well, maybe Act Blue had an idea of looking at the two candidates who they figured was going to win and thought, well, maybe we need to start getting out ahead of some of this before we have, Kash Patel knocking down our door.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
He's going to be busy.
But what's compelled them to all of a sudden, yeah, exactly. What's compelled them here all of a sudden to not think they can continue to get away with this? That would be the main question I would have.
No, I think it's people have been asking questions, and they're probably getting FOIA requests, and they're having to produce these documents, and they're not happy about that because that exposes their scam, what they've been up to, and yeah, you go back to the election. If Trump hadn't won, they could just continue doing what they're doing, and they'd be operating, without consequence. Because hey, it's our guys in charge. They're not going. Chris Wray's not going to look into us. He's looking into all those crazy people that go to church and who decide that they want to question what the schools are teaching. Yeah, the two schools are teaching and trying to indoctrinate their kids. That's who Chris Wray and the FBI are looking at. They're not going to look at us, the real criminals.
It's astounding how far away that these alphabet gangs have gotten since 2008. It's truly astounding. I mean, the Bushes were no bargain, but boy, Obama took it to the next level.
All right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
So we're live in the chat now, right?
Yes, we're live in the chat.
I can't wait to tell Damon Corey owed him with $100 for Rick's family.
Really?
Wow.
On which chat is that?
Oh, this is YouTube. Sorry, I'm not. Okay. I'm trying to catch up with all this stuff.
I know. I'm not.
I got to tell you, there are some funny people in the chat.
Oh, they're hilarious.
There's so many good lines.
And when they get tired of us, they start talking amongst themselves and blow us off.
It's funny how many people in the chat will hit 2 and how many people knew what Project Bluebeam was. It's astonishing to me.
I told you. I talked about that once before. and played some clips. And some of the stuff that they can do these days is amazing.
We had an old Facebook group before Facebook got moderated, and there were people in it like a lot of really, like Luke Radowski was in it, We Are Change, and Tracy Beans, who's huge now, and Kristen Megan. It was just a big debate group, and there was a lot of great research in there. It was back when Facebook wasn't like loaded with bots and loaded with hate and loaded with like people who would deliberately derail an argument. It was a really interesting debate group, and you could post anything like, from HARP and its abilities and what it could do, and God knows where it's at now. This was 2008, 2009 when Facebook was like free.
Right.
Everything was on YouTube back then. Anything about, anything that's just so taboo now to even speak about, was available. And YouTube has just scrubbed everything. It's, you look at it, you try to dig up stuff on Monsanto in there, no go. Right. Bill Gates has cleaned up everything on his side of it. It's it's astounding what they've gotten away with.
Yeah, Damon, look at what some of the stuff they can do here.
What movie is that?
It's not a movie. It's just some of the stuff that they can do with this technology.
Did you get the clip of I sent it to you, I emailed it to you?
You're crazy.
D of Trump. It's worth playing. You got 50 seconds to look at a 20-second clip on your email. It's great. He's hysterical.
Yeah, I got the read in front of me, so I can't.
Mannequin Wizard says YouTube was ruined 100%. Child of the King, I love you and I love your name. That's why we missed you, Paul. I saw someone in the draft said that goof at the end that was laughing, has no idea, has never done any research. Well, my tinfoil hat is way bigger than Delgado's.
Yeah. And it fits better.
I got tinfoil shoes.
Someone said, wake up, Damon. I'm awake, thank you. Wake up, Damon.
Can't see it till you see it.
Let me talk to you about Patriot Mobile, our friends over there for 10 years. Patriot Mobile's been America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, standing behind their service and their values as a company. They're an example of putting the cause ahead of profits, and that's why Rav was proud to partner with them. Right now, you can get their Every Friday Matters special today. Patriot Mobile is giving away a brand new smartphone when you make the switch. Patriot Mobile offers exceptional nationwide coverage, giving you access to all three major networks without your dollars funding the left. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're supporting free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and more. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service teams makes switching easy. Keep your number for a limited time. Get a free smartphone. Go to patriotmobile.com/RAV, patriotmobile.com/RAV, or call 972-PATRIOT and use promo code Friday. Again, that's a free smartphone. Offer is eligible only with the promo code Friday. This is a limited time offer or until supplies run out. Terms and conditions apply. Join us. Make the switch today. PatriotMobile.com/RAV. That's PatriotMobile.com/RAV. PatriotMobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT. Well, if you open a gold IRA with Birch Gold Group and get free silver coins, that's right, they'll ship them directly to your home. That's right, it's the most wonderful time of the year. The time of the year when Birch Gold gives away a free silver American Eagle coin for every $5,000 purchased. And here's the best part, you don't have to pay a penny out of pocket. By December 20th, simply convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in precious metals, and Birch Gold will send you free silver coins directly to your home. Now, you might be thinking, why do I need to diversify into gold? Trump won. He's heading to D.C. Things are good. Well, here's the facts. An administration trying to put a dent into $36 trillion of national debt in just 4 years is like a field mouse trying to stop a freight train. We can't even afford to pay the interest on the debt, let alone the principal. So better safe than sorry. Take action now to protect your savings. Text the word America to 989898 for a free information kit on gold and to claim your eligibility for free silver on your purchase from Birch Gold. But you must do this by December 20th. Again, text America to the number 989898 for peace of mind that lasts longer than 4 years. All right, 19 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. If we have time, I'll get to, speaking of Birch Gold and diversifying and debt and Trump and Doge and the work they're going to have cut out for themselves. As I've said, all these fake spending cuts you're hearing from these fake Republicans who are all the arsonists who now want to tell us how to use the water to put out the fire they've started and voted for all these years. Well, there's an article over in Zero Hedge today that really draws the picture of how hard, almost borderline impossible, it's going to be for Doge to do what they think they're going to do, because the freight train is going to be very hard to step in front of. The freight train of debt and spending and deficit spending that this country's on. So if we have some time, we'll get to that, but let's do some news right now. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition, available over at livefromstudio6b.com. And here with that's Rick Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, I guess the big story that kind of got everybody's attention today, along with the drones over New Jersey, is the resignation announcement of one FBI director, Christopher Wray. He announced today that he's going to resign at the end of the Biden administration. So, of course, he's going to stick around for a little bit longer because that's just the way he wants to do it. Here's cut number 7. Here's a quick clip of him making that announcement about stepping down. Here's cut 7.
Is for me to serve until the end of the current administration in January and then step down.
Yeah, as you can see, the country is celebrating with the resignation announcement of Chris Wray. Wray wrestled, he said, with whether or not to resign, given Trump's stated desire to replace him with the very, very talented and friend of the show, Kash Patel, and wants to facilitate an orderly transition. But some in the FBI worry his departure would normalize Trump's penchant for replacing FBI directors he doesn't like. But I guess that's the president's prerogative, right? They serve at the pleasure of the president?
I think so.
There's no guarantee to a 10-year term. That's the limit that you can have if you're lucky enough to go 10 years. That's the limit.
Right. Wray took the helm of the agency after Trump fired Director James Comey following investigations under his watch into Russian meddling in the 2016 election. Wray took office after Comey, whose FBI also investigated Hillary Clinton's use of private email server, and he left in May of 2017, just a few months after Trump started serving his first term. As the incoming director, Wray was seen by many lawmakers as a solid choice to stabilize the rocky ship, but he ultimately suffered the same fate as his predecessor after he oversaw an FBI that investigated Trump with political investigations, probes, resulting in 2 separate federal cases against the former president. And Trump, in particular, was unhappy with the FBI's court-approved search of his Mar-a-Lago resort in August of 2022. So there you have it. And he said over the weekend that, hey, he wasn't thrilled with Wray. He invaded my home. He invaded Mar-a-Lago.
And he did.
Yeah.
And he lied every day of his career.
Before we get to some more news, I have some breaking news here tonight from the president's transition team. President at Real Donald Trump says tonight, I am pleased to announce that Kari Lake will serve as our next director of the Voice of America. That's known to some as VOA. She will be appointed by and work closely with our next head of the U.S. Agency for Global Media, who I will announce soon, to ensure that the American values of freedom and liberty are broadcast around the world fairly and accurately, unlike the lies spewed by the fake news media. Kari was a beloved news anchor in Arizona, which supported me by record margins for over 20 years. VOA is a state-funded international broadcasting network. So Kari Lake tonight will be the director of the Voice of America under the Trump administration. So that breaking about 2
Well,
minutes
me,
ago.
McGarry Lake.
Very good. So you got another appointment in the hopper there. President-elect Trump's pick for FBI Director Kash Patel said today that he is seeking a smooth transition to replace Christopher Wray. I don't know if you saw the clip. Pretty funny because they tried to ask him, and he just said he looks forward to getting started. I look forward to a smooth transition. I will be ready to serve the American people on day one, he said. So that's coming from Kash Patel as he was asked about the resignation of one Chris Wray. So there you have that.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing to see people like John Brennan and others out there defending Chris Wray. People on the left saying he did nothing wrong to be able to have to leave. Even if we took you at your own word and believed that, which obviously is a just laughable statement, it doesn't matter. The FBI director, like everybody else in the executive branch, works at the pleasure of the president, the chief executive of the executive branch. And if he wants to put his guy in, there's nothing that says Chris Wray has to be there for 10 years.
Right.
It's just that simple.
The media is so in bed. Like even like the Tom Cotton now is demanding that West Point discipline the.
That's a whole scam that they tried to run today.
Hegseth has to show his. Thank God he had that. I can't find my birth certificate. This guy found his West Point letter.
That was a hit job right up until the moment that it wasn't, because they couldn't get away with it.
Just another media scam. And people look at a headline and they think, "Oh, Hegseth, he's a joke. He's just a news anchor." Well, how about the one where they have Hegseth who just gets done with that? What was it, a triathlon type of thing, and they got him. Oh, this is the guy waving a flag in his underwear. You know what I mean? Like they just everything they could do to badmouth and bash someone. It's criminal. It's criminal.
All right, we'll do some more news when we get back with Rick Delgado, Paul Nolan, Harry on the highway, Fran holding it down, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday right after this.
Me gave her a job.
Yeah.
Christopher Wray, him and Comey.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing, these same old swamp creatures.
And Christie.
What bothers me the most is how there are guys on the ground who are fighting sex traffickers and drug dealers and cartels, and they're putting their life on the line. What does that do for morale? You think about in 2016, there was a whole contingent of FBI agents who were like going after Clinton and her email scam, and Weiner had his Weiner and his thing going, and
Weiner and his Weiner.
Yeah, and as soon as that happened, there was so many people who just got ousted, got shifted, got transferred for the entire anti-Trump mafia. It's still astounding to me how much criminal behavior has gone on and how it demoralizes the real patriots on the ground fighting tooth and nail for us to be safe, to protect the children. It's just beyond me what these guys have done for morale and leadership. It's disgusting.
Well, it's the ones that are actually doing the actual work.
Yeah.
And they're watching these guys that are just paper pushers getting all these promotions because they fall in line with
all they do is keep
that and you hear it from some of them. They're like, these guys, the McCabe's of the world, they never did cases, they never did investigations, they were never on the ground. They were just always in an office pushing papers.
You're absolutely right.
And they're the ones trying to lead
royal keisters as possible to get themselves advanced.
Yeah.
This is what it is. That top echelon is just an apparatus that just cares about its survival. All they care about is their survival. I mean, insurance policy in 2016 for a president if he gets elected, you think about what they got away with.
Yep.
It's still
free.
Crazy.
All right, getting back to the chat. Chatsters. Let's see. You know what? I'm looking for Bluebeam videos.
I keep seeing a lot of things from this roundtable that Kellyanne Conway was on. Now I've seen, man, I got to watch this thing. A lot of clips coming up. All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. Paul Nolan's here. Rick Delgado. Harry on the highway spinning the tunes. Fran holding it down on the big board. Aaron's got the night off. Government spending shock. U.S. budget deficit soars in worst start to the year on record. Think about that. Worst start to a fiscal year on record. You thought last month's U.S. budget deficit was bad? Boy, were you wrong. It's only fitting that the twilight days of the Biden administration would exhibit more of the same fakeness that defined not only all of the past 4 years, but certainly the fakeness of that Kamala Harris presidential campaign, which had $1 billion a month ago and ended up in absolute total failure and, by the way, broke. Millions in debt. We are talking, of course, about the relentless debt-funded spree that somehow became synonymous with economic success in the U.S. According to the latest Treasury data released today, in November, which is the second month of fiscal year 2025, which starts September 1, the U.S. spent a massive $584.2 billion, a 14% increase from the prior year, and a record for the month of November ever. For those who remember the outrage from a month ago, you'll also remember the latest deficit number follows what was also a record government outlay for the month of October. On a trailing 6-month moving average basis, to smooth out outlier months, the spending hit $586 billion, effectively at an all-time high, with just the record spending spree during COVID pushing government spending higher. The surge in spending was driven primarily by higher spending on health, defense, Social Security, but mostly a $50 billion spike on Medicare outlays. The long-term chart of government spending shows what we all know. Doge or no Doge, there is no stopping the train that is the debt in this country. The surge in spending was far greater than the much more modest increase in tax revenues. In November, the U.S. government collected $301.8 billion in taxes, up 10% from the $274 billion from previous November. As shown in the next chart, while spending continued to grow exponentially, tax receipts have flatlined, and the 6-month average in October was just $380 billion, the same as 3 years ago. So when you look at the deficit, the debt, borrowing about $1 trillion every 100 days, and actually it's now even shorter than 100 days, the October budget deficit is 22% higher. November looks like it was going to be the worst month ever in history for spending. We're off to the worst fiscal year we've ever been off to. $624.2 billion is the U.S. deficit in 2 months, October and November.
Is that a lot?
Well, it doesn't have a T in front of it. So to Washington, it's not quite a lot yet because now you have to have a T in front of anything, a bill, any passage of anything. If it doesn't have a T, it's not even like a major league bill. The point of this being, again, and I keep saying this, when you keep hearing about these fake Republicans with their fake cuts, ooh, I know how we can cut this or we can cut that. The train is so far gone from the station to even deal with the interest situation that we're going to be facing in this country. Janet Yellen and the Treasury Secretary and the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, have sat in front of Congress in numerous hearings over the last 4 years and have been asked, even though nobody on either side wants to talk about this, but they've been asked, do you think we're on a sustainable path? And they've both not only waffled, but said, I think right now you could say this is still a sustainable path. We don't see any major concerns. We're still on a sustainable path. Janet Yellen now on her way out the door as Treasury Secretary once, and then formerly she was at the Federal Reserve in the first administration.
Yeah.
She has overseen 17 trillion of the 36 trillion we have in fiscal operating debt under her 2 terms in government. She says today she's worried about the sustainability of the debt. She says it today. She's now concerned.
17 trillion.
Now
she's overseen
right.
half in her 2 trips into government, this administration and the first time.
17 trillion.
She has overseen 17 trillion.
But it's
of the 36 trillion of fiscal operating debt.
And I get pissy when my wife says shoes from Amazon.
Yeah. Again, if you're going to put anybody in charge of it that has a chance of doing something, I would say Elon and Vivek. You're not going to find 2 better guys. I just think the idea that somehow there's all this hope for all these cuts, I don't know how much hope we should be holding out.
So what did we do last year? Didn't we bring in $4.7 trillion in tax revenue?
Under the Trump tax cuts,
with no tariff increase, with
more revenue than before them.
So let's just say hypothetically the tariffs work for a year.
We have never had a revenue problem. We've always had a spending problem.
Without a doubt. So now if they can stop funding, ISIS and Hezbollah, and funding all these nations that just take money, hand it to rich people, then rich people, pass it off to their rich friends, and then they send it back to the states in terms of donations from, these super PACs. Maybe we could stop that. Maybe we could just stop bombing everyone. Maybe just cut it down. And if you want to fight a war, fight it to win, and maybe not leave the weapons behind like we did in Libya, like we did in Iraq, like we did in everywhere we go. Maybe it's time we stop leaving Taliban $10 billion worth of stuff to empower them, so we can spend another $100 billion to eradicate them.
And even those numbers are peanut numbers compared to what we're talking about.
Well, $100 billion here, $100 billion there. Before you know it, you get there.
It adds up. You get to a T.
You get to a T.
You get to a T, D. Come on.
You know what the interest payment in December is going to be? Let's take a wild guess. What just the interest payment is going to be for December.
Does the Fed give us a favorable rate?
Is it a B or a T?
No, it's a B. It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
No, it's not $1 trillion a month.
But it will be $1 trillion in under 12. Combined, it won't take 12 months to get to a T.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's $150 billion is the interest payment in December. And it might be north of that in interest alone.
We should just get another credit card.
You know what? They should do a consolidation loan. Those things work well.
That's
absolutely crazy. And nobody on either side of the aisle seemingly wants to really
think about when we
talk about it.
Think about when it was 15 trillion. You thought it was absolutely astronomical.
The mind-blowing figures we've illustrated today show the monumental challenge for Trump and all those promising to rein in U.S. debt. which has exploded to 120% of GDP after 4 years of Biden's drunken sailor spending ways. The last hope for the U.S. is that Trump has tapped Elon and Vivek to look at ways to cut spending. Alas, these figures show that the bulk of the outlays are in areas that are bound to be politically explosive to address. In other words, any cuts even remotely close to $2 trillion suggested would lead to a full-blown deep state revolt and government cataclysm. It's also why attempts to reroute the U.S. from its inevitable collision with the iceberg of fiscal devastation will likewise end in ruin.
Did you see Argentina ended its deficit? Milei has ended the deficit for the first time in 123 years.
Yeah.
He said the deficit was the root of all our evils. Without it, there's no debt, no emission, and no inflation. Now you'll see Bukele will do that in El Salvador, and you'll see these nations will be hubs for, industry. You'll see them attract all kinds of, AI companies. You'll see all kinds of crypto companies. You'll see all kinds of industry growing there, and it's all because, without a central bank, you don't have this kind of mayhem. These central banks rule us. I mean, in all wars are bankers' wars, and it's got to end. It's just got to end the Fed. It's got to be done. It's over.
Yeah, I think they're trying to. Did I hear they're trying to bribe El Salvador not to use
That's
Bitcoin?
Correct. That is correct.
The central bank is offering them a loan. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's see, Bitcoin or a loan that you're going to want back with heavy interest. Take the Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're not going to. They don't want U.S. dollars. You again. Denominate your life in dollars, everything gets more expensive. Denominate it in Bitcoin, everything gets cheaper. And that's just the way it's been since its almost inception. And I said that for I've said that for 5 years on this show, and I'll continue to say it. Denominate your life in dollars, everything gets more expensive. Denominate it in Bitcoin, everything has gotten cheaper. That's a fact. It's undeniable.
Listen, that's why you see wealthy people aren't hoarding their U.S. dollars. They're getting rid of them. They have art. They have rarities. They have gold. They have silver. And they have Ethereum and Bitcoin. It's just that simple.
Yeah. All right, let's do a little more news, and then we'll one more segment, wrap it up for a Wednesday. Delgado, what else is going on?
All right. Well, I wanted your opinion on this when I saw this, and I figured Fran would have thrown the flag on this clip, but he didn't. So I'm thinking it could be true. It could be real. I'm not sure. Well, I don't know if you've heard.
He didn't throw the flag on the first one. What could be could be flag worthy after that?
Well, because recently, of course, Republican leader Mitch McConnell suffered a fall. Right?
I just heard about this today. Yeah.
And I guess
just get out. Please get out.
He hit his head and hurt himself, but I saw this clip today, and it looks like the fall may have triggered another frozen moment for the frozen turtle, Mitch McConnell. This is cut number 2. Oh, check this out for yourself. And again, I wasn't sure if this was real.
Is your head okay after that fall? Senator?
You're kidding me, right?
Is this real?
This is clearly from the other thing.
I don't know.
Wait, is that a fake fig on his head?
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. That's why I was waiting to hear from Fran. I thought he would have thrown the flag. And he usually texts me back or emails me back on this is totally fake. He didn't do that.
It's not totally fake, but I did put the title. If you look at the clip, what I labeled it.
Well, the clip is real, but it's from like 6 months ago, and the headband obviously is new.
I didn't read the whole. It was a very long time.
By the way, appropriate.
Yeah. It does kind of point out the fact that the guy's really old, and I did see a video of him having to be walked into his office.
He is in worse shape
than Biden.
He's in worse shape than I think who was the one from California that was in the wheelchair?
He's in worse shape than Bernie, and I'm talking weekend at Bernie.
Yeah, I thought you'd been Sanders. I'm like, he's retiring, it looks like, too, finally, at 89. God, these people just can't give it up.
It's too much money.
Dianne Frankenfeinstein,
yeah,
you're thinking.
Feinstein, that's what I was thinking.
It looked like literally the Grim Reaper at that.
Really did.
God.
From here, that looked fake to me. You couldn't.
It looked fake, but I'm like, how come nobody's writing on it? This is totally fake. I'm like,
I thought you were
on here. I'm serious.
What are you talking about?
So I send it to Fran.
We've
Usually
shown that
Fran
clip.
sends me an email back saying this is fake.
We played that clip like 100 times.
I understand.
When he froze up.
But then again, he suffered a
frozen up a
fall and
couple
he hit his
times,
head,
though.
and he had a
Right?
bandage on his head.
He's not the leader anymore. Why would he be giving a press conference with the new leader standing behind him?
Because he's still Mitch McConnell. He hasn't given up that seat just yet.
I do like you're trying to sell it that you really didn't know.
I really didn't know. I wasn't sure.
You're doing a good job.
I wasn't sure.
Of selling it.
It did come from like 3 Twitter accounts away from the guy that made it. So
I'm not buying it, but
that was watermarked in the bottom right corner.
I'm trying to sell it.
But I wasn't sure. And usually, like I said, Fran emails me back and tells me this is BS
You weren't
all the time. So when he didn't this time, I'm like, oh, maybe this is real.
I was really busy today, so I figured the bus would run over.
That's okay.
They definitely would have let him go out looking like that, for sure.
Who knows?
Yeah.
These people have no shame. You know that.
I forgot how much I like Just the News website.
Well, I got a great Corey Mills clip for you.
This is
Come
him
on, play the
asking
Trump clip.
Asking Blinken about how many people he rescued?
Yeah.
Come on, play the Trump clip.
Oh, yeah, you asked me to. Okay, I can look at it now. This is the Defiant thing?
Hey, I sent you a good Cash Patel clip.
Yeah, you got to send it. You got to send it to my. Oh, this is from a while ago.
Which, the Cash?
No, the Trump.
Oh, that is from.
Well, John Bolton's sitting behind him.
Oh, I didn't see Bolton there.
Yeah, this is from when he was president.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't play it. Sorry about
Unless I'm looking at the wrong thing. Is this Defiant L's? Is that what you sent me?
Let me check.
Yeah, this is I think 2016, 17.
Oh, I saw it on 2 different spots in my YouTube, on my X feed. So I just assumed, that is Bolton in the back.
Yeah, this is from 16 or 17.
Darn it. I guess it's making the rounds again because this is good. Sorry about that.
All right, I got a couple quick ones for you.
Boy, there's some crazy drone stories going around now. Boy, this is getting.
What do you mean?
Oh, people got theories on everything, like nuclear attacks. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in, everybody. Glad you're in the chat. All of our friends on social media, make sure you hit the like and subscribe, whatever platform you're on and watching. Did I see we have a birthday in the chat? Happy birthday to Debbie, says Kim. It looks like we may have a birthday in the chat. So
happy birthday.
If we do, happy birthday, Debbie. If you're watching on social media, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Follow us on pretty much everything at LFS6B. Of course, if you're shopping this week at MyPillow, Mike Lindell, make sure you use our promo code LFS6B. It'll give you a great savings. And, of course, you can get a free T-shirt from us. If you use our promo code, just forward your receipt showing that you used it, and then you can pick something out from our store. LFS6B is the code to use if you're shopping at MyPillow. Sergeant Arby says, Harry, that's the end of the show music that you just played. So that's how in tune. That is amazing right there. That is how in tune this audience is to this show.
Yeah.
That's why I follow Sergeant Army.
That is the outro music to the show.
Right.
I didn't even pick up on that.
And that just goes to show you how out of tune Harry is with the show. He's listed as a producer.
Don't worry, I just told him what tonight's out music is.
Oh, okay. I have another super chat I want to get to. Mr. Blutarski, Rick Emirati, sincerest condolences to you and your family. Thank you very much for the super chats on YouTube. We do appreciate them. All right, let's do a little more news. We'll see if Paul Nolan has any more thoughts on anything before we wrap it up. Rick Delgado's got the news. What's going on?
All right. Well, big news coming out of Time magazine is President Donald Trump has been elected, or selected, I should say, cut number 4, as Time's Man of the Year. There he is. Yep. Celebrating as only he knows how. Trump's victory represents a long overdue rebuke of the entrenched and arrogant governing class. For those who see it as for worse, the destruction extends to the cherished norms of civility and discourse, a politics poisoned by vile streams of racism, sexism, and nativism. To his believers, this change is historic, not modest, and is something to be inspired by. So, again, Donald Trump, congratulations on being Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Was
there anybody else in the running that we know of?
Believe it or not, Benjamin Netanyahu was one of the people, and also Kamala Harris for some reason.
Person of the Year.
Right, Person of the Year.
Oh, so she was up for it? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I do guess it's a feat to spend $1.5 billion, end up in debt, and then lose so dramatically. I guess that is worthy of a cover of something.
Yeah, exactly.
What are the odds she's drunk right now?
Minus 4,000.
Speaking of President Trump and his border czar, visited Chicago today. Yes, the blue city of Chicago, where he made an appearance and let the people of Chicago know that not only does their mayor suck, but their governor sucks. Here he is talking about his plans. Cut number 3. Here's Tom Holman in the city of Chicago.
If he impedes us, if he knowingly harbors and conceals an illegal alien, I will prosecute.
And while Homan says there are no plans for family separation, President Trump's immigration surrogate offered this blunt take.
You need to take the child home with you?
Yeah. So there you have it. He is, I guess he's doing a press tour or something, going around to the blue cities and getting cheers from the people that he's talking to. And again, in the blue city of Chicago.
Yeah.
Talking about the immigration.
We can end where we began. Kellyanne Conway sitting on this. I got to watch this whole round table. I see there's a lot of people at the table now that I've seen some different clips of it. Even the governors in these blue cities, they don't understand what we just witnessed in November.
Yeah.
They don't understand. They haven't seen those meetings that we've played on this show of the citizens showing up at the board meetings and the legislature meetings and the city council meetings. Maybe they haven't seen the people there.
Well, the Democrat Party has used the black community like their cannon fodder. They don't care. They've completely abandoned them, and they thought they could just throw them to the wayside and completely disregard them and just give all the benefits and help to these illegals, and they have had it. They've been so loyal to the blue team, and they've woken up. I would really love to see the real exit polls on inner city blacks, what they voted for, because they got the shaft. That's the truth. They've been getting the shaft since the 60s. They just used and abused, and they finally had it.
Told they need to rely on government for everything, education and everything else.
Yeah, and hopefully, hopefully President Trump, once he's in office, starts visiting more of these blue cities, because he's going to get. I think if he visits like Chicago, what?
When he was in Brooklyn, that was phenomenal.
You mean the Bronx? Yeah,
the Bronx. I'm sorry. Yeah. Same thing.
Because I think it's one of those things where if he reaches out and he because he brings that optimism, and that's what people want. They want some optimism. They want some positivity. And I think he stands a chance of really turning things around if he visits these places. Last clip I got for you, Damon, is from Representative, one of your favorites, Corey Mills, as he spanks Secretary Antony Blinken over Gaza and the things that went on there in a committee hearing on the Hill earlier today.
This guy Blinken represents exactly what we're talking about, the attitude with the drones. This guy Blinken is like, well, listen, it's not that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was okay. Afghanistan was not that bad. I don't have that much of a problem with what happened. Like, that is literally the guy's attitude.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the attitude we're seeing now. Like, what's going on? Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's okay. There's no credible threat to anything on the ground, or we have no reason to think there's a threat. Well, how about the fact that they're actually flying and you don't know what those are? Don't worry about it. Right. Same attitude.
Yeah, same attitude. Here is Corey Mills, cut number 5, as he slams Antony Blinken right to his face about Gaza. Cut 5.
The other thing is that in Israel, a horrible incident occurred where over 1,200 people lost their lives. And yet the State Department had done nothing to come in and actually rescue Americans who had been left behind. How do I know that? Because the very first rescues conducted was on October 11th from Nazareth, Tiberias, and Haifa. How do I know it? Because I was the one who conducted them. 32 Americans that day, then into the West Bank, then into Jerusalem, then out towards Gaza. I got 255 Americans out by myself before the State Department lifted a finger and did anything to bring a plane in. Meanwhile, other nations were already flying aircraft in and out, rescuing their citizens. Again, another failure of 22 USC 4802.
Not correct.
I will also, it is correct, and the reason I know it's because I was there. Were you there, sir?
I had an
Were you there,
entire
sir?
embassy there.
You were not. Let's go ahead and start with that.
There, and I've been there 12 times.
How many Americans did you rescue, sir?
Yeah, we've gotten
how many
Americans
did you
out.
personally rescue, sir? None, correct? So don't try and talk to me about ground truth. You couldn't even control what was happening in Afghanistan. Let's start there.
Poof. So there you have
It's
it.
about time comeuppance, man. This is good stuff.
Yeah, Corey Mills, always good. Anthony Blinken is a disaster and a disgrace.
Disgrace is just, that's kind.
It is kind.
And,
it is kind for what they've tried to do and continue to try to do, even to their last dying breath here in office to Israel, and what they've done to light the world on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Treasonous, pencil neck.
And he was that before he got to this administration, by the way. Remember John McCain? Do you remember him for anything? Remember what he said about Anthony Blinken and how dangerous he thought he was. He was, say what you will about a lot of other stuff, he was right on the money with his characterization of that guy. Right on the money. This guy's been an utter disaster. Him and Biden, what they've done to try to tie Israel's hands behind their back. And as I think Vin said last night, if Israel had listened to any of them, they would be in a significantly more dangerous place today than they are. Because basically they gave them two middle fingers and said, go screw. As always, we salute our military, active and active, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines. Paul Nolan, Rick Delgado, Harry on the highway, Frank, great job, everybody on the show. Most of all, thank you. Take Me to the Sea, super chat for Slick Rick on the way out. Thank you very much, everybody in the chat, the live from Studio 6B audience. We love you all. Have a good rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow night back here, 8 p.m., live from Studio 6B.